Now for what's tipping the scales of justice, Kaylee Goncalves' family raising over $85,000 on GoFundMe so that they could attend Bryan Kohberger's trial. But now that there's a plea deal in place and no trial is happening, Kaylee's dad, Steve Goncalves, told TMZ that they're offering refunds. But some donors just want the family to keep the money because they're so upset about the plea deal. So as we're looking ahead to Bryan Kohberger's sentencing on July 23rd, so it could happen soon, we're asking, what can we expect to hear from the victims' families? Let's bring back in our legal eagles, Casey Early and Franz Borchardt. Oh, this is going to be really tough. For anybody wondering how this is going to go, let's talk about that and what you both are envisioning for the impact statements and what we can expect at this time. That's going to be right around the corner, about 2 weeks out. Casey, your thoughts first, please.
Well, one can only expect that this is going to be a very emotional day because we know that the parties were split in whether or not they wanted him to have a plea deal or a lengthy trial and possibly a death sentence. So it's going to be emotional. And I don't like to say that this is the healing or the end of the healing because we know that it's a lifetime of healing. But unfortunately, in this case, the father did not get what he wanted. He wanted a lengthy trial. He was very vocal. He said that, Kohberger wasn't afraid to kill, but now he's afraid to die. So it's unfortunate that this is the way that it has to go. But thankfully for this family, his morals have prevailed. I mean, they did explain that they're going to return the $85,000. This was collected because they were anticipating a lengthy trial, but they're going to return it because they don't want to fool the public and they want to just move forward.
Yeah, such good people. Casey, thank you for that. Franz, your thoughts. What are you envisioning when this day rolls around?
So it's important for people to remember that victim impact statements are an opportunity for the victims, the survivors, to address the court. It's not really supposed to be directed at the accused. It's not supposed to be directed towards the state, although I think in this one, we'll have some pretty raw emotional comments directed towards the defendant as well as the state, possibly. But the sentence is a foregone conclusion at this point. So really, the only thing that he can do and has to do is just sit there and listen. Sometimes defendants don't do that, but I think he's shown that he can almost be stoic to the degree of not really seeming to care about being there or what's being said. So, but I think it's going to be pretty raw, Julie, and I think that we're going to hear some cross things said about the prosecution and to the prosecution about this. I am very proud of the family to offer that in so much as they're offering the money back, and I think that that's a definite sign that they are not, this is about justice for them and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're well said, Franz. Yeah, in terms of the criticism of the prosecution, I'm not surprised that they feel this way. I don't blame them for feeling that way. I get it. Steve Goncalves, I keep thinking of the word they use, they called the prosecution bumbling, and I get why they feel that way because all this time passed. I often wonder, Casey, let me ask you if they might feel differently if this plea deal was struck early on, just to get this guy locked up, put it behind them. I wonder if some of the upset was because of so many months of worry and kind of getting prepared mentally to go through the trial.
I think that, Julie, but also how quickly they scheduled the plea deal, right? Or the hearing. There was just little to no notice. And although the judge in this case kind of explained why it had to happen so quickly, because if he did not go through with the deal, at least it can continue with the trial and not have any further delay. I just feel like an explanation and communication goes a long way. Oftentimes as litigators, we do this day in, day out, and we don't tend to understand that our clients or the victims don't understand the process. So I really believe if the prosecutors even, I think it was their duty to explain to them, why is this plea hearing happening so quickly? Why is it happening at all against our wishes? Sometimes if an explanation can make someone feel a little better. Maybe the prosecutor prosecution believe, you know what, we may not get a conviction or whatever the case may be. So explanation and communication.
Yes, well said. Casey Early, Franz Borgard, we love having you both on the show.